Hey folks, welcome to Deploy in London. My name is Matt McKay. I'm our VP of Developer Relations at DigitalOcean, and I'm really happy to be here with you all because before I joined DigitalOcean, about 5 months ago, I was a customer for 10 years. And so I'm excited to see all the things, not just with the core products, the infrastructure, but also what we've got in store with AI. So I want to go real quick through the schedule with you all today. We have a great keynote prepared, and we're going to go through a lot of what's new on the platform, across the entire platform. We'll take a short break. Then we'll do a couple of sessions on building trusted agents and making sure that you can build AI and agents in ways that don't lock you in to one particular way of doing things, partially because this is all evolving so fast. And what happens today may not be applicable for tomorrow. So you want to make sure you build without lock-in. We'll take another break, and we'll come back and we'll talk about scaling and cloud costs and making sure that you are building in a reliable way. Take another break, come back, talk about some customer stories, what's possible with the platform, and then we'll go to a great happy hour outside here. So I want to get all into the actual content here, so please give a big round of applause for Pranav Nambiar, who is our Senior Vice President of AI, ML, and Platform as a Service. Pranav?
Thank you, Matt. Hello, everyone. Hope you have had a great day so far, and hope you're all really excited to hear about some of the coolest announcements we have in store for you today. First of all, on behalf of everybody at DigitalOcean, I would like to welcome you to this keynote. Hopefully, this is going to be a very insightful session that will give you new ideas, feeling enriched about all the stuff that we're doing at DigitalOcean. Talking about DigitalOcean, I'm sure most of you are familiar that DigitalOcean is one of the largest cloud providers out there. We have a presence in over 190 countries and territories. DigitalOcean is well known for a number of its innovations, but what we most stand out for is that we help our customers save more than 30% in costs in terms of total or cost of ownership. We also deliver 24/7 customer support across the board, and we take great pride in our ability to simplify the cloud. On that note, we definitely want to continue the same trend as we all transition towards a very AI-driven future. Talking about future, if there's one thing that's on top of everybody's minds today, that's AI agents. Let's have a show of hands. How many of you are evaluating agents or even working on agents? Okay, pretty much most of you, isn't it? In fact, during my flight to London, pretty much most of the tech podcasts were about agents. There's a lot of talk about agents out there. Almost all analysts talk about it as well. But we don't see as much of a heavy influx of agents in our market segments today. Why is that so? The answer to that, to some extent, is provided by one of MIT's latest research studies, where they found that 95% of agents don't see the light of production. To put it differently, there's a massive chasm between piloting and getting to production. By the way, this image is generated as well. So what is causing this chasm? Again, in essence, the many deficiencies in our systems that actually hinder you from full-fledged agent developments. Agent development is not just about invoking an LLM or running GPUs. That's certainly one part of it. But there are many other pieces that need to come together for you to build production-grade agents. And of course, the many challenges in this process, and at DigitalOcean, we want to solve that on your behalf. We don't believe it's a matter of adding a tool here or there or a service here or there. Rather, we think the whole cloud needs to be transformed to be optimized for agent development. Introducing the agentic cloud. The cloud where you can actually leverage AI to take actions with agents. you can transform AI into actions that actually yield results. And how do we think of this agentic cloud? At a high level, we're thinking of an experience that brings together the best of two worlds. On the one side, you have the AI cloud, represented by Gradient AI. And on the other side, you have our core cloud services. And when both sides come together in a cohesive manner, that's when you have a comprehensive agentic cloud. So all through this session, I'm going to talk through more aspects about this agentic cloud. We're going to dissect this step by step and look at each of these areas in more detail. With that, let's start with the first piece, which is Gradient AI. As you all might know, DigitalOcean itself has invested heavily in building agents for our own use. And as part of that experience, we have run into our own set of challenges, hurdles, lack of tools, lack of skills, and more. So in essence, Gradient AI is a distillation of all our insights and capabilities to help our customers build agents with ease. So what exactly is Gradient AI about? So at a high level, the three pieces to the puzzle. Gradient AI offers you the kind of infrastructure you need to help build agents. It also offers you a platform that helps you drive agent development lifecycle end to end, and also has a bunch of agents to help you realize the full potential out of cloud. So I know there's a lot on the slide. Don't worry, we're going to look at this one by one. Let's start with Gradient AI infrastructure, which is essentially the foundation stone for everything Gradient AI. Our focus with Gradient AI infrastructure is to not just provide you GPUs, but also provide you all the infrastructure related to that, whether it means storage, networking, and beyond. And above all, we heavily emphasize and focus on optimizing this infrastructure. In fact, we see with our optimizations more than 143% improvement in throughput and a reduction in more than 40% in time to first token. And you get all this at about up to 75% reduction in costs. So many customers and partners have leveraged our infrastructure and definitely used it to drive their business forward. Let's hear from one such customer and partner. Let's hear what the CTO of Fal.ai, which, as you might know, is a fairly well-known generative media platform. So let's hear what Gorkem Yutsevin has to say about their experience with Gradient AI infrastructure.
Fal is a generative media platform for developers. We host image and video models and provide them as easy-to-use APIs powered by our inference engine for other developers to build products on image and video models. So we maintain a really big GPU fleet to run these video and image workloads. We have to work with reliable infrastructure providers like DigitalOcean to host these models. I know DigitalOcean from a long time ago, very reliable CPU-based application hosting. And when I saw that they also have support for GPUs, we decided to give it a try, and it's been very reliable so far. Finding GPU capacity is always a challenge, and with DigitalOcean, the sales team, the support team, even the executives were really nice to us from the beginning and were able to accommodate our needs. We are leveraging GPUs, droplets, and we connect them to our system. We use the storage product as well, and we are mostly utilizing these to run image and video models. Simplicity and unit cost was very attractive in the beginning. That maybe opened the doors, but also when we proved that everything is very reliable and easy to use, we moved a lot more capacity to the platform. With our partnership with DigitalOcean, we are also going to make some of the image and video models that are hosted by FAL available on the DigitalOcean Gradient platform. We believe we are the most performant image and video inference provider in the market, and everyone who's doing business with DigitalOcean will have access to these models as well, powered by our inference engine.
Awesome. First of all, it's been amazing partnering with FAL.ai on all their innovations, and definitely looking forward to a lot more in the coming months. Of course, no conversation on AI infrastructure is complete without talking about GPUs. We have a wide variety of GPUs on DigitalOcean, right from the H100s to H200s or the general purpose L40S to the AMD MI300s and 325s. And you get these at a massive discount. Specifically, if you sign up for a multi-month reservation, you can get up to 75% in cost savings compared to many other options out there. Of course, we are not done with that. We're definitely looking forward to add support for the next generation of GPUs. So you'll soon see support for the Blackwell series and the AMD 350X series from us. And these GPUs can provide you anywhere between 3x to 30x the performance compared to other generations. Of course, how do we get to this level of performance? Well, we get to this by closely partnering with large GPU manufacturers like AMD. This partnership is what helps us bring you the best innovation to all of you. On that note, let me call upon stage Anush Elangovan, who is the Vice President of AI Software at AMD. He's going to talk to you more about the innovations at AMD. Over to you, Anush.
Thanks, Pranav. I'm Anush Elangovan. I run the GPU software business at AMD. So I want to talk about, I'm sure everyone here is talking about AI and AI agents, but what I want to talk about is choice. Choice about GPUs, choice about where you deploy AI, choice about how you deploy AI. And AMD has a very compelling hardware platform and now a software platform. And partnering with DigitalOcean, we are able to bring that at a very competitive, both just in performance-wise and total TCO is also a big factor that you can come to rely on. So let me talk about two pieces of the equation. One is hardware, and the other software. Hardware, AMD is pretty well known for their CPUs, GPUs, and Ryzen laptops. So we have a pervasive AI story on the hardware from a hardware perspective, and then on the software side, we've had a checkered past, let's say, but now we have invested heavily, and we are in for the long haul in terms of providing a very viable software solution. So we'll talk about a few things as to how we make it easy for you to move and migrate from the incumbent ecosystem and kind of guide you along the way. So two important takeaways, performance and TCO. Performance, we want to make sure we are competitive. Competitive from a hardware standpoint, competitive from a software delivery standpoint, so that it's not like if you take an AMD solution, it is a second choice, but rather performance-wise, we are very competitive, if not better than what competition provides. And then you add a TCO layer on top of it, and it makes it a compelling story for your business. So just to talk about our software stack, ROCm is our AI software stack. An important aspect of it is it's fully open, and it supports leading models on day zero, which means when a model is released, like GPT-OSS came out, day zero, it is supported. It's not just supported, it's performant. So we work with all of the frontier AI labs, and we get the support baked in before they launch any of these models. And an important aspect of our philosophy is that it's not just open, but also we believe in and ecosystem and partnerships. Just like what we're doing with DigitalOcean, we want the power of everyone to come in to move the ball forward. So we have a very open, collaborative mindset when it comes to partnerships. And then we are developer first, right? Like, so we want to be able to make sure that we address the developer needs, start with problems that matter, and try to solve for that. And of course, there are a lot of model manufacturers, frontier labs, like 7 of the 10 largest hyperscalers are all using AMD. And we'll talk about a customer case that we had successfully deployed with DigitalOcean in the past few months. So one other key takeaway: it's a comparable stack to what you're commonly used to. So everything that you're used to, from microservices to the low-level runtime compilers, we have a one-to-one drop-in replacement. You do not need to change a line of code. So if you have any deployment, reach out to the DigitalOcean folks and see if you can try AMD. And without any code changes, you should be able to get the promised performance and TCO advantages. So it is seamless. So like we mentioned, there is a immense focus at AMD to kind of revitalize how we approach software in the AI era. And open source ecosystem partnerships are a big part, continuous delivery, and engineering excellence, that all are starting to build the foundation of how we deliver AI at scale and agentic AI at scale. So I'm just going to talk about a customer that we were very successful with the partnership with DigitalOcean. This started off with a AI native company, and they are currently deployed with multiple thousand GPUs. And it's just a order of from POC to deployment, it was an order of weeks. And now it's gone to multiple thousand GPU deployment, and this is live, serving production workloads. So if you have any of these fast growing use cases, like I'm not going to name the names of the customers, but it's anything agentic, anything important where your inference costs do come into your overall business plan rapidly, then reach out to DigitalOcean. We are here to help and to make you successful. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Anush. We're really thrilled about our partnership with AMD, and certainly looking forward to bringing you a lot more innovations in the coming months. Okay, now some of you might be thinking, well, you started by saying infrastructure is not everything, and all we have talked about so far is infrastructure. Let's switch over to the next layer, which is the Gradient AI platform. To understand the Gradient AI platform, let's take a closer look at agent development in general. So agent development, to put it simply, is very similar to software development. You build stuff, you test stuff, and you deploy stuff. But it's still quite tricky and complicated. It's not as simple as software development. And that's primarily because agents are based on reasoning models, and oftentimes it's very probabilistic. To put it in other words, they're not very easy to predict. And this makes it very challenging. Just simple trial and error doesn't make it easy for you to get to production-grade agents. And what makes things more worse is that the entire ecosystem is extremely fragmented. You have to rely on dozens of tools to even make some kind of a quality agent. Not anymore. So with Gradient AI platform, our vision is to provide you one single platform that caters to all aspects of your agent development lifecycle. So this slide just depicts a high-level view of some of the features and functionalities that we have. I'm going to dive deeper into each of these. But before we do that, let's hear from one of our customers who have used Gradient AI platform. I would like to invite on stage Mark Keptier, who's the engineering manager for Development Aid, and he's going to talk to you about their journey with Gradient AI. Over to you, Mark.
Thank you, Pranav. So, my name is Mark. I'm an engineering manager at Development Aid. Development Aid is a company that helps organizations do businesses with governments and international agencies. To help them, we process a lot of data. So data is mainly our problem. We have many products, and one of the products that I'm going to talk about today is Tenderwell. Tenderwell is a procurement data aggregator. We aggregate data from about 400 sources right now, and we constantly add more. For you to understand better, what procurement notices are big chunks of data with a lot of attachments, documents, text, images, and we need to be able to get that data into a format that the customer understands, right? We have a big backlog of information, and we have new information coming in every day, right? So we're talking here about large unstructured text information. We need to be able to enable searching, and we need to be able to extract signals from this data. Initially, we did some POCs, and we tried human data entry. That was too slow. It was not scalable. It was completely useless. It wasn't workable, right? Then we started moving into LLMs to process this information. Our initial attempts were creating our own infrastructure in-house with GPUs and so on. And that was really hard to scale because you need people who are specialized into maintaining the infrastructure. These are costs. And the turnaround rate in development, like the iteration rate was really low. And then we saw the Gradient AI platform, like the agent platform that DigitalOcean launched, and we started playing with it, right? We launched this product back in 2024. So it's quite a fresh product. And in that time, we iterated quite a lot. Right now, we have about 1,200 users. These are businesses that use the platform, and we process about 100,000 new documents every day. Documents being these procurement notices and also updates, because it's not we don't have just to take the new information from these platforms, from these sources. We also need to keep track and constantly update, catch all the additions to the documents, and then reprocess that information and reclassify it or re-summarize it depending on how what changed, right, to better fit the client to the tender. So some of the bottlenecks that we had a low throughput rate, we had cost management problems, we had GPU utilization management problems during spikes. Sometimes the usage would be very low, other times it would not be enough, right? And we could not really get that real time processing that we needed. Right, so how did Gradient AI help us? It's extremely cost efficient. So this is probably not mentioned often enough, but compared to our own infrastructure, we decreased cost by about 50%. This is less people that need to manage infrastructure, and also like the hardware itself. Simplicity. You go to the platform, you create an agent, you select a model, you build the prompt, and then you run it. This enables development teams to quickly iterate through their ideas, right? You modify the agent, you try new things, and then when you're ready, you just put it in production. This fits really well with our data pipelines. We use the control panel and the HTTP API to hook up these agents into our processing steps. And then we can change them live, right? If we see that something doesn't work, we shut down the agent, we create another one, and then we go again. It's really flexible. It allows us to predict cost based on the input-output token billing. And it has a good model selection. And I understand that there are more to come. And it allows us to do like a good variety of tasks, like summarization, classification, getting signals, and so on. The impact, we scaled from almost nothing to about 100,000 documents a day. That's a 2-order of magnitude increase in data processing. We can offer clients, customers, near real-time information. So once the data is published on the government agency website or in their API, we can extract it. In a couple of minutes, it's going to be live for our customers, and it's going to get there with an alert, and they get information like right away in a digestible format, stuff that they need. We reduce the infrastructure costs. We are able to process and reprocess data as we need. And we eliminated a lot of the bottlenecks, like in the process. So I guess that's it. Thank you. Over to you, Pranav.
Thanks a lot, Mark. Moving from 1,000 documents a day to 100,000 documents a day with 1 million updates, and doing all that in 50% the cost. Isn't that all about innovation? It's been great working with Development Aid on some of these projects, and certainly looking forward to a lot more. Okay, so some of you might be thinking, well, that's great. Now tell us more. Tell us more about what this platform is about. So let's take a deeper look, and let's take a deeper look in the context of agent development lifecycle. So broadly, you have 3 stages. You build, you test, you deploy. When you talk about building agents, there are 4 broad components. You have the model, which is kind of the brain or the reasoning power behind the agents. You've got tools that provide you context that help you take actions based on that reasoning. You have orchestration that brings all of this together. And then you have guardrails that make sure your agents are behaving properly. Gradient AI platform takes care of all these aspects and provides you a number of differentiated capabilities. So let's look at each of these one by one. First and foremost on the models. As Mark already mentioned, we have got a good selection of models, and we keep adding a lot more, as and when we see more demand from customers and as and when we see more new models coming up. We offer a serverless inferencing service, so you don't have to bother about infrastructure or scaling it. We just handle it for you. You don't have to deal with creating multiple accounts with OpenAI or Anthropic or other providers. You can just use our single DO account, and you can switch between multiple providers as you wish. And on top of that, you get all of this, and you get, for most of these models, you get up to 70% in cost savings. We've got a lot of new innovations coming up as well. We're working towards adding support for bringing your own model, and we're also going to add multimodality capabilities soon. Overall, I think we have got most of the pieces covered for you as far as models are concerned. Let's look at the next piece, which is tools. We offer knowledge base as a service. So you can just point us to documents. We take care of chunking it, indexing it, figuring out all the embeddings behind the scenes, and you could just use search as a service. In fact, we have optimized the hell out of it. We're still continuing to innovate on it. From our benchmarking tests, we think we are over 16% more accurate compared to, let's say, what AWS Bedrock does. And we have 14% more content type support on Gradient AI platform. Of course, we are not done with just that. We support a number of data connectors, whether it's S3 or Dropbox and so on, and we are continuously adding more. We're going to soon add connectors for Slack, Salesforce, etc. We also offer functions, serverless capabilities for you to add custom logic. We also have support for MCP. So there's a lot of pieces that you need for tools all within the same platform. Okay, with that said, let's look at the next piece, which is orchestrations. First of all, I'm very excited to share with you that we'll soon be adding support for our own agent development kit, which is going to help you with a very code-first experience around orchestrations. This ADK is compatible with LangChain and LangGraph, so it will be very easy for you to get started and utilize. We also have visual interfaces for orchestration. We have multi-agent routing. We'll soon be adding support for A2A as well. Now with that, moving on to the last part, which is often ignored by some of the developers, guardrails. Oftentimes, people build agents, and when they actually put it in production-like scenarios, it doesn't behave well. For example, here's an example where the agent is emitting your API key or private details, which it should never do. So Gradient AI platform as you covered, we have a number of out-of-the-box guardrails like sensitive data detection, jailbreak detection, content moderation, and so on, which you can easily leverage and just turn on, which will help you control the behavior of your agents. Of course, there's a lot of changes happening on the guardrails front as well, and we are continuously innovating on your behalf so that you can use some of these general purpose capabilities instead of you having to rely on separate different kinds of tools. Okay, so to bring it all together around the build phase, we've got a number of features for you to take care of various aspects of the build phase. And many of these are extremely differentiated and cost effective. But that is not enough for you to build agents. You also need to test these agents. And just trial and error on agents, some manual tests here and there, is not going to cut it. So DigitalOcean also went through this whole pain around testing agents. And that's why we created our evaluation suite. So we offer a bunch of different out-of-the-box evaluation capabilities. We also offer the mechanism for you to build your own test cases, bring in your own data, and then run evaluations against different versions of the agents to figure out which one does better. From our own experience building agents, we have seen up to 30% improvement in accuracy of our agents at 50% of the time to get it to production, thanks to evaluations. Of course, now you might be thinking, well, okay, so I've run these evaluations, and I'm seeing that the accuracy of my agents is dropping. What do I do? This is one of the common areas where most developers get stumped. They're not sure what is the problem or what exactly should we change. It could be that your prompt was incorrect. It could be that the tools are not behaving properly. It could be that your orchestration was not correct. It could be that you didn't pick the right model. There's so many reasons possible, and many times it would not even replicate some of these issues. Not anymore. We have a whole observability suite as well as part of the Gradient AI platform. So it not only provides you traceability and insights, it also provides you recommendations. For example, Gradient AI will tell you, hey, your prompt adherence score looks a little bit less. It seems that your prompt is not doing its job properly. So now, as a developer, you can all look at it and say, hey, maybe I should tweak this and improve this better. And that is going to fast track your journey to get agents to production. Of course, now that you have done build, you have done test, the next big stage is deploy. We've got you covered there as well. We've got Git integrations, we've got CI/CD pipelines, we've got VPC, and we also auto-scale the deployments on your behalf. So you don't have to bother about scaling based on your workload. We have taken care of it for you. From your side, you can easily deploy, you can monitor, and you can iterate. And this is what makes ADLC a lot more effective for all of you. Okay, on that note, let's hear from another customer of ours. I would like to invite on stage Christian Contardi, who is the CEO and founder of Shakazamba. Over to you, Christian.
Hello. So excited to be here and to share my experience with DigitalOcean that we adopted 3 years ago when we started to develop our AI solutions and our proprietary platform. Just a simple, I'm dealing with AI since at least 20 years ago when my hair was long. The name of my company is something that reminds something magical, simply because you need to be magic dealing with AI, especially in the European Union, with all the difficulties regarding all the things of privacy, security, and IP protection. We got many vertical solutions. For example, Theo AI is a platform based on fiscal data. So everything that is in relation with Italian laws and fiscal arguments. The platform is trained with a huge database coming from 20 years of experience of our partner that is called Fiscal Focus, and there is also a research center. And we got right now more than 1,000 of clients, and they are using the platform every day because they simply receive questions coming from their customers, complex questions regarding all the regulatory situations that are changing every day in the fiscal world in Italy, and they simply ask the platform how to solve the specific problem, just to obtain in few minutes a response and just to gain something like passing through hours of work into minutes. The same thing is regarding Lunica. That is another vertical solution based on over 2 million of official documents coming from the institutional sources in Italy, and is specialized in legal AI. So the goal is to have the possibility to navigate into a huge number of documents without following any type of hierarchy of contents, simply asking your question on a specific issue regarding legal stuff, and you can get the right answer and pointing to the right document you are looking for. Avocale is another one that helps lawyer firms to receive a vocal message from a customer with specific needs regarding a specific situation, and just to identify which are the necessities based on something like 30 different types of templates for situations based on Italian laws. This means that the lawyer can simply receive a pre-filled document for a specific need. So notice, car accident, and so forth. Everything is based on Twisa, that is our own platform, and that is a RAG platform, and that is based on DigitalOcean infrastructure, and is using many parts, many products that is present in DigitalOcean, starting from agents and databases and especially GPUs, because we need GPUs for training. This is the main interface of Theo. That is quite simple, such as a normal chatbot, and as you can see, it can respond on specific, very specific questions, not only in Italian but also in English, and more than 50 different types of dialects in Italian. You can also upload your files in order to obtain some automatic response that is based on agents. So you can simply click on a button just in order to obtain a synthesis or a simplified version of the document that you are uploading. Well, we started with the problems as many other as many other companies. Unreliable data. The most dangerous thing of AI is hallucination, and especially no citations regarding where the response has been taken from. Privacy risks, because you don't have only to be scared of security and privacy, but also to sharing your IP. Because if you are using some other LLM, you are simply training some other LLM with your own knowledge. Costs, that is always important, because GPU is quite expensive as usage. And blind spots, the poor observability and quality tracking. The solution is the hallucination-free with RAG architecture that is possible on DigitalOcean. The easy adoption, so the no-code playground makes you, give you the possibility to test and to try and to build model, destroy model, and to speed up all the development phase. The control, especially regarding the possibility to have local LLMs. So without the risk of sharing your IP, your data, and any other type of data breach. Fast value, I mean, I can spend, I don't know, minutes regarding how easy is to use DigitalOcean instead of monolithic approaches of AWS, Azure, or other Italian local providers. What we got with Gradient AI platform is the possibility to automated customer support, for example, all the knowledge management that relies many other things, many other possibilities on managing customers' data, content creation on specific training set. We reduce the cost of development, and especially thanks to the possibility to try different solutions before choosing which is the best fit for a specific environment that needs to go to production. For example, we got monthly subscription renewals of Theo. They are almost 100%, and we are going in. We are reaching more than 500,000 queries just only in the last year. We are also going to open a specific new company dedicated to Theo because of its success and our necessity to find funding. And that's it.
Thanks a lot, Christian. 99.7% renewal rate for subscriptions, not an easy feat to replicate. Really excited to see how companies like Shakazamba are innovating with agents. Okay, so bringing this all back to the Gradient AI platform, we shared and we talked about a number of different features. We talked about how they impact customers, how customers have benefited out of that. How about we bring all of this together and see some of this in action? To do just that, let me call upon stage Philip Reichenberger, who is the Senior Director for our Gradient AI platform. Over to you, Phil.
Thank you, Pranav. Hi, everyone. I'm super excited to be here to share more on how DigitalOcean is helping developers cross the chasm to build production-ready agents. Now, nowadays, AI development is through code. But with so many models, protocols, vector databases, tools, it can be really difficult to put it all together to make production agents. So with that in mind, we wanted to create a simple platform to really streamline workflows and to put AI development all in one place through code. So today, I want to share more about our upcoming Gradient AI Agent Development Kit, or Gradient AI ADK. Gradient AI ADK helps you manage your agent orchestration. Tools like functions, MCP servers, guardrails, data sets, agent evaluations, all of it in code. It will support popular agent frameworks like LangChain and LangGraph, so you don't have to start from scratch. With this, we wanted to go make it really simple to create new agents or integrate existing agents into the Gradient AI platform easily. So to show what's possible, we're going to take a real-world scenario. DigitalOcean customer support is always looking for new ways to help our users. So they came up with an idea. How about we create an agent that helps the users navigate DigitalOcean docs and get their answers quickly? Let's build that. So what do you need? You need the data from the DigitalOcean docs always up to date. In addition, the answers always have to be reliable. They have to be accurate all the time. Now, that's a lot of work. But with the ADK, we're going to give it a shot. So let's dive in. So here we have our ADK already installed, and we have an entry point here. This is called a Python decorator called entry point that unifies the Gradient AI ADK and the Gradient AI platform with this function. And so if we look into this LangGraph code, we can see that the first step is to retrieve the DO docs from the knowledge base. So this will provide the context for the next step in the response step, which we feed to the LLM to give the user its response. And so for the knowledge base, we define that right here in code. And I've already added the data source, which is docs.digitalocean.com, and so it's ready to go. So what this does is it allows you to ingest the DigitalOcean docs into the knowledge base so that it's ready to be consumed by your agent, all behind the scenes. And now if we look at this response step, we're using another Gradient AI service called serverless inference. And here we're using in the model OpenAI GPT OSS 120B. But you can use any Gradient AI platform models from Anthropic, Llama, Gwen, DeepSeek, Mistral, all by changing this one line of code right here. And you can also add MCP servers and other agent tools through this code easily. So I deployed the agent. Let's give it a spin. Now we're going to ask a question: what MFA methods are supported? So I'm a DigitalOcean user, and I want to know what MFA options do I have? But if you look at the answer, it's not quite right. You can see that it's talking about a marketplace app called Authentic. And yes, it's talking about some one-time passwords, but that's not quite right. That's not what we really want. So we want to improve this. How do we do that? Well, before we jump in, like any responsible developer, we're going to build a baseline. We're going to make tests. So with that, we're going to use our ADK, and we can define what we call an agent evaluation. And so here we go. We have an evaluation test case, and we're going to test for ground truth faithfulness. This helps you measure like how well the agent response is adhering to the knowledge base data. And we have a golden data set with a series of questions and answers that decides how well it's performing. So we're going to run this. All right, so we got 83%. Okay, not bad, maybe MVP level, let's get it out there. But not quite ready for production. So what do we do? Let's say this is out there, maybe take a survey, get some questions and answers. That's a lot of work. But luckily, we have a feature called agent observability that comes out of the box that works with these agents. And so you can see this here. A history of questions and answers from our agent, all in one place. And you can see my latest question, what MFA methods are supported, and its response. And if you double click into any of this, you can see the tracing of all the agent logic and how it came to this conclusion. This is a lot of work, though. I mean, lots of requests. We want to move fast. What if there was something that can analyze all this and tell me what to do? Give me recommendations. And so we have a feature for that. It's called Agent Insights. And it takes this log stream data that we just see and kind of analyzes it to give me opportunities to improve my agent. And here we have document search initially failed to find relevant DigitalOcean MFA docs. So that's what happened. We couldn't find any docs around it. And it gives me a suggestion, review and improve document retrieval queries to better match user intents. All right, that's a plan. So what do we do with that? Well, luckily, back in the code, in our knowledge base, we can define that retrieval method. And so we're going to change this to something called subqueries. And so what this does is it takes the original input and creates subqueries based on that. Very similar, but not quite the same. So you get a broad replies from the knowledge base. So this will increase the context of our data. So we're going to make this change. And then we're going to go back and see how it affected our question. So we're going to type our question in, and you can see subqueries is on the right now. All right, so that's what we were looking for. DigitalOcean's two-factor auth supports two methods, authentication apps and SMS. This is correct. And so we were able to do that with one line of code. But this is great. This is one question, but remember, we had a baseline. Let's see how it really works with our tests. So we're going to run that, and we're going to see what is the larger impact we're going to make with that change. And now you can see, now we're at 95%. So now we're cooking with gas. Now we're ready for prime time. And now our customers can get answers they really need. Hopefully you can kind of see the workflow that the ADK provides. A streamlined effort to get everything in one place where you can kind of measure and drive and cross the chasm to build your production agent. I'm super excited to announce that we'll be releasing the ADK this month. We're super excited to see what you guys build with it. Anyway, thank you, everyone. Back to you, Pranav.
Thank you, Phil. That was a great demo, and he managed to squeeze in so many features in such a compact demo. I often say what's better than building cool features? It's actually seeing features like this in action. And what's even better? That's actually seeing customers like you leveraging those features. So with that, in case you're wondering, well, that's a lot of features, all in one platform. But we are not done yet. So we had a thought. Well, if we're going to help you build agents, how about we build an agent that does it for you? Introducing Gradient AI Genie. Genie is an agent that helps you build agents. It can be an advisor for you. It can help you get started faster. It can help you automate stuff. This is a project we are super excited about, and we believe this can easily fast-track your journey from piloting to production. Stay tuned. This will be coming to you soon as well. Now, I'm sure some of you might be thinking, well, that's a lot of features, but tell me, how much is it going to cost me? Well, we have got you covered there as well. I'm excited to share that we'll soon be announcing subscription-based pricing for our Gradient AI platform. With this, you'll get up to 70% in cost savings compared to many other options out there. You can use the free trial if you want to just pilot with some agents. You can use the starter plan for the cost of, let's say, a large-sized pizza. You could actually have an agent in production. And if you're more serious about larger plans, you've got growth and enterprise plans. And many customers have told us that they're scared about runaway costs. You got a subscription, but what if you end up spending a lot more? Well, to address that, you have the option to also cap things. So once you meet your quota, you won't be able to consume further. You could remove the cap whenever you want, in which case you can start consuming as well. So we have taken care of all these aspects for you. And in case you feel this is really exciting, you want to learn more, you want to connect with us, please scan the barcode that you see on the screen here. You can connect with the Gradient AI platform team. We'll be more than happy to talk to you. If you have feature requests, if you even want early access to some of these features, you have a lot of options here by connecting with us. Okay, so with that said, let's move over to the next tier, which is about agents. As I said before, DigitalOcean has spent a lot of effort in building agents, and our vision is to build DO.Next, our next generation of cloud that leverages agents to drive more value. Earlier this year, we launched a troubleshooting agent for our Cloudways product. Cloudways is a web app development platform. Let's quickly take a look at how this has impacted Cloudways.
Meet Cloudways Copilot, your AI-powered partner that quickly detects, analyzes, and resolves critical issues so you can stay focused on your business. One common example of a critical issue is disk space exhaustion, which can slow down or even stop your applications from running smoothly. Managing incidents like these becomes effortless. The moment your disk space nears full capacity, Copilot proactively alerts you with clear details. In this case, it pinpoints that the root partition is 97% full, and the cause is a single oversized file, test.txt. It guides you with precise recommendations. Review the file to check its purpose. Compress or archive it if it's not essential. Of course, with Copilot, resolving issues is even simpler. Just click Fix with Cloudways Copilot and watch as Copilot freeing up valuable disk space. You can even verify the action directly in your server settings. Don't just take our word. Here's what our customers say.
Copilot makes it easy. It summarizes not only the issue, but the best part about that is it makes it easier for us to troubleshoot the issue and provide potential solutions. That has saved us quite a bit of time when those issues arise. And it's been an awesome addition. We've seen it improve.
And with Copilot, we're able to actually resolve things pretty easily, pretty smoothly.
With Copilot, that's really eliminated that for us. So if the server crashes, it's typically because an application, meaning a WordPress website, has gone rogue, essentially. Some stuff has gotten stuck or something. Really cut down our investigation time and our resolution time. It used to take us an hour. Now it probably takes us 10 minutes tops to get our web stack back up and our server back.
Cloudways, the #1 hosting powered by AI.
Well, isn't it exciting to see the power of agents? Of course, we are not done with that. We're looking at leveraging agents to transform the cloud across 3 different aspects. First of all, we want to help you get started faster. We launched the Ask Docs agent, which actually delivers more than 95% accuracy answering customers' questions today, built on the Gradient AI platform. We're planning to extend that further by building a DO Assistant agent, which can not only advise you, but also execute tasks on DigitalOcean. Of course, going forward, we earlier talked about an SRE agent that DigitalOcean has built. For its own use, we have seen close to 40% improvement in mean time to resolve issues as a result of that. Many customers have asked us for getting access to this, and so stay tuned. We're looking at exposing this as an agent for all of you to consume as well, bringing in your own data to actually help the SRE agent do the SRE work for you. Of course, we are not done with that either. We're also looking at helping you scale better, and so we are working on a number of different agents, right from a FinOps agent to a SecOps agent to advise you on security. We're also planning to come up with an agent marketplace that can help you transform the cloud. Okay, so we've talked a lot about the Gradient AI platform. I'm sure some of you might be thinking, well, how can we join you on this journey? Well, we have a few options for you, and to tell you more about it, let me call on stage Megan Grady, who's the Director of Partnership Growth on DigitalOcean. Over to you, Megan.
Thank you, Pranav. I'm so grateful to be here with all of you today, and I'm excited to tell you a little bit more about our AI ecosystem. When Steve Ballmer famously chanted, "Developers, developers, developers," he was referencing how the developer ecosystem was so much a part of Microsoft's success. 25 years later, as we launch full speed ahead into the AI revolution, the surrounding ecosystem is still paramount to the success of any platform. A flywheel is in motion here already, and you can see DigitalOcean's AI ecosystem is growing. As you've seen today, we are rapidly adding products and features to the Gradient AI Agentic Cloud. From a show of hands, who here is familiar, maybe you weren't already, but from today, with many of these AI technology companies here? Well, you probably were familiar with these, but okay. If you didn't already know before today, but who, from a show of hands, who knew that these were available from the DigitalOcean Gradient AI Agentic Cloud before today? Not as many. Okay, all right. We're moving in the right direction. Can you keep your hands up or put them back up if you've used any of these technologies with DigitalOcean? All right, we have a bit of work to do, but we're going in the right place. So thanks for participating in that. We're partnering with industry leaders and innovative startups that you see here to provide you with access to cutting-edge technology all in one place, as you've heard, infrastructure, models, dev tools, and frameworks. And we have even more coming soon to the platform. As you saw in the video earlier from Fal, you'll be able to generate voice, image, and video with their media models. And soon you can create more intelligent applications with vector search from MongoDB. Sign up here with this QR code to get early access and find out first about what is coming from future partner integrations. Given all the investment in this space, I'm super excited today to announce our DigitalOcean AI Partner Program. We recognize that our partners are crucial to the success of our AI ecosystem, so we built a partner program to offer even more support and value to our partners. The benefits of the AI Partner Program are available for technology platforms, systems integrators, and venture firms. In addition, we're going beyond standard partnerships and extending our program to you, the AI startups and natives who are building directly on our platform. The innovation that you are building with us, the new use cases, your ideas, unique challenges, and your development velocity help us drive our roadmap, and they also push us forward for the boundaries and push our platform forward for everyone. We see that as a super valuable partnership. So our program goes beyond traditional co-marketing and lead sharing to provide unique value in a way that only DigitalOcean can. Now, I can't describe all of the benefits of it here in person or throw them on a slide, but I want to walk you through a few highlights. So when it comes to developer marketing, we'll work with you to put together video tutorials and highlight your products on our YouTube channel. In addition, there are things like recently we hosted some consultative sessions with partners who are looking for help building out their developer marketing strategies and plans. Community and events, we do a lot in this space. We're going to do over 100 events this year, and we plan to 3x that next year. Yesterday, we kicked off Hacktoberfest, which is a month-long celebration of developers and open source. This year, we added a whole lot more ways that partners can work with us, and we have several partners participating. There's over 90,000 participants in that annually, so pretty exciting thing to be a part of. You can follow along at hacktoberfest.com, #Hacktoberfest. I highly recommend it. It's been going on for over 10 years. And of course, there's ways to get involved in things like Deploy. If you're around later, please make sure to say hi to Chang, James, and Chloe, who will be here from AMD, from Laravel, and from Mercado, and check out their demos at the happy hour. And finally, with channels to market, we already have integrations from a few of our AI startups from Galileo and Traversal that are built directly into the Gradient AI platform. So maybe your product could be next. We like to do innovative things and change the bar here, so we'd love to hear your ideas. If our AI ecosystem or partner program are interesting to you, please find me later. I'd love to chat, and I hope you'll join us in building the future of AI innovation. Thank you.
Thanks a lot, Megan. I'm sure if Steve Ballmer was here, he would be screaming, agents, 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 given all the focus that we have on agents. With that said, let me bring you back to the original architecture slide that we had, talking about our vision for the comprehensive agentic cloud. We talked at length about Gradient AI and the AI stack, but the other part of the story is also equally compelling. We've been innovating quite a bit on the core cloud experience as well. And to tell you more about it, let me call on stage Chris Browder, who's our Senior Vice President for IaaS and Data Center on DigitalOcean. Over to you, Chris.
Thank you, Pranav. It's good to be here with all of you today. I'm here to talk to you about our core DigitalOcean services. These are some of our most popular products, including our infrastructure as a service, compute, storage, and network offerings, as well as our platform as a service, managed services, including databases, Kubernetes, and our app platform. And the core DO services are critical foundations to an agentic cloud. You still need these services whether you're running AI or your ongoing core workloads. One of the things that we were wondering about is what better way to highlight the core cloud services than through customers who use these services themselves. And so I'm happy to introduce Sergey Chikarev, founder of Tonstarter and co-founder of Notcoin, who will talk about some of the ways that his company has been able to scale using DigitalOcean services.
Thank you. I will give you a short story of Notcoin, actually, and this one will be for you to understand how DigitalOcean actually helped us a lot in this way. So basically, we started as a team of 4, and it was like a quite early startup, and we started to build on DigitalOcean just because it was quite easy to launch pretty much any app in any stack you would like to. And Notcoin was one of the pet projects that we've been building on the weekends. Later on, Notcoin appeared to be like one of the most popular games I've ever seen, and I will show you this on the figures. Later on, it converted into a digital token, and then right now it's evolving into something like a cultural phenomenon. So basically, what is Notcoin? Notcoin is like a game itself, and here should be video, but you can understand from this image that the game itself, I can click. Oh, wow. Perfect. Sorry for this bass, I was not aware that it has some sound. But yeah, so it's basically the game where you play by just tapping the coin in the center of the screen. And you compete with other people, you do leaderboards, and you join squads, claim some rewards and boosts, and this is basically it. So at the moment when we just launched the game in January 1st, 2024, from the early beta, we had roughly around 800,000 people who were played it. And later on, as you can see, we climbed up during the first 2 weeks into like about 10 million people who've been playing this game. In the end of the phase where the game was closed, there was 36 million people who've been playing it. And if you will check not only the overall numbers, but the amount of players that we had on a daily basis, you can see that in some peaks we had roughly around 7 million, actually 6.5 million players. And I've been checking one of the most popular games from Steam, which is Counter-Strike, and they had around 1.5 million players today, like a DAO. And if you will compare this to just a basic clicker, it's like tremendous numbers that we faced. And to give you a bit more, let's say, excitement about this thing, this game was launched by only 2 engineers. One of them is standing right now on the stage. So it was quite a challenge, you know, to scale this thing. And I think without DigitalOcean, it would be simply impossible. That's it.
Yeah, thank you, Sergey. It's great to see how customers can scale their businesses on DigitalOcean. You know, customers often come to DigitalOcean because of the value for the price, as well as the simplicity, but stay when they continue to see that price even as their businesses scale. Core DO services encompass some of our most popular products, from compute, storage, and networking that I talked about before, and our managed services, databases, Kubernetes, and so on. We have launched many new features since our last deploy, which is on this slide. And many of those features we're announcing today. I don't have time to go through all of them, but I thought I would cover a few of them in more detail. As you can see, we are offering the latest GPUs from NVIDIA and AMD. We're offering some of our largest droplets that we've ever had. We're also including additional storage products from network file systems to cold storage that we'll talk about. We're making billing easier with per usage billing across marketplace, compute, and storage products, and enabling your businesses to scale, whether it's through NAT gateways in the Kubernetes and networking products, orchestrated cron jobs in our app platform. So let's go through a few of these in more detail. Cold storage, actually Space's object storage has always been cost effective. You know, we start at just $5 a month, you get 250 gigabytes, and you get, at 2 cents, you get an extra gigabyte. However, we've heard from customers that they want a more cost-effective storage option for infrequently accessed data. And so we're launching our Space's cold storage. First, your data is yours, and you should never be locked into a single provider. That's why with cold storage, we offer free egress, free access up to the data that you store. Cold storage is designed to store and scale to hundreds of petabytes of data that is infrequently accessed. And cold storage has been validated against popular applications like Veeam, rclone, and rsync. And so like the rest of our storage products, you can trust it to be secure, reliable, and resilient. So cold storage is simple to enable. When you create a Spaces bucket, you simply check Enable Cold Storage, and you get it at 0.7 gigabytes per gigabyte, 0.7 cents per gigabyte per month. It's a very effective storage mechanism as you scale your workloads and your data on DigitalOcean. Very excited about this. On the opposite spectrum, we hear from customers that are using, with AI workloads, these are GPU workloads for both inference and training, that they need high throughput access, like concurrent shared access to storage. And this is where NFS comes in. NFS provides high throughput so that your GPUs are not sitting there idle, and you can efficiently use GPUs across multiple nodes. We make it very easy to seamlessly integrate this for both our Droplet product as well as our Kubernetes products. As I said before, customers come to DigitalOcean because of the value they get for the price, as well as the simplicity. But the features that we launch, we want to continue to make that simplicity as customers scale. And so that's no different than what we're doing for managed databases to enable auto-scaling. Auto-scaling is now in GA, and it's an example of how we're keeping it simple for customers as they scale. There's no additional cost to enable this. You simply pay for the storage that you use. And then finally, we're launching organizations for account and billing management at scale. This is yet another example that we're supporting customers' simplicity as they scale to get bigger. And organizations transforms how customers manage accounts at scale. Instead of juggling separate teams, everything's available in a single central hub. Billing is simplified with one invoice across teams, with clear visibility into where the spend is. And organizations also provide scalable access controls that scales to your organization's growing needs. To talk more about enabling simplicity at scale, I'd like to introduce another DigitalOcean customer, Taylor Otwell, founder and CEO of Laravel PHP Framework. Welcome, Taylor.
All right. Thanks for having me. It's good to be here. Has anyone used Laravel in the audience? Oh, wow. Nice. Thanks for that. So I'm Taylor Otwell. I created Laravel back in 2011. Laravel is a full stack framework for building web applications. So what does that mean? Basically, most web applications have very similar functionality. They need to log people in. They need to store stuff in a database. Laravel is a very batteries included backend framework that includes things like authentication, database abstraction layer, authorization, queued job, scheduled task, even AI features like a Laravel MCP. Everything you need to build a modern web application. So I wrote Laravel back in 2011 primarily for myself, to be honest, because I was working a day job. I was an enterprise.NET developer. I wanted a really quick way to prototype web applications, startup ideas, just whatever I wanted to build. Created Laravel, put it out on GitHub in 2011. I think the first day I got 4 stars on the GitHub repository. That's kind of like a like on Instagram. And I was pretty pumped, to be honest. It turns out over time, a lot of other people enjoyed using Laravel as well, and it's eventually became the most popular PHP backend framework in the world, used by everyone from solo hackers, like how I started out, up to teams within companies like OpenAI, Apple, Intel, and others. So it's been a pretty crazy journey and a pretty wild ride, to be honest. Now, the cool thing about open source, and maybe one reason why a lot of companies like open source, is you don't have to pay to use it. And I found that out the hard way when I made no money from Laravel for the first 3 years of its journey. But that changed when I built a product called Laravel Forge in 2014. I was building Laravel apps. I needed to deploy them to production. I thought, I'll automate this for myself, again, through this tool called Forge, which is a dashboard for managing servers and Laravel deployments. It builds servers for you. It installs PHP. It installs MySQL, Postgres, Redis, whatever you need to run your Laravel application. And then when you push to GitHub, it deploys the code to production. So it's a very vertically integrated platform specifically for deploying Laravel applications. That's really our main focus and why it's sort of finely tuned for our framework. So why am I at a DigitalOcean conference telling you about a PHP framework? And that's because I've been building with DigitalOcean for a long time. DigitalOcean was the first infrastructure platform that I integrated with Forge. So when people sign up for Forge, they can bring a DigitalOcean API key, and we will create DigitalOcean powered servers for them and install PHP and deploy Laravel applications. And I integrated that again in 2014, back when DigitalOcean was just droplets. And I think I was on API version 1. I think DigitalOcean and Laravel share a very similar philosophy around developer experience, around simplicity, around making really technical concepts accessible and easy to use for developers. I know I'm passionate about that, and I think DigitalOcean's passionate about that as well. So I think we feel a lot of camaraderie working with DigitalOcean to solve some of these problems. And we've scaled on DigitalOcean. So Forge itself runs on DigitalOcean and has for many years. We use DigitalOcean droplets and managed databases, but we are now managing over 150,000 DigitalOcean droplets on the Forge platform for our customers, which is pretty mind-blowing thinking about where we started. So, and it's been an awesome journey working with DigitalOcean to accomplish that. Now, yesterday, we actually took the next step in our partnership with DigitalOcean by launching something we call Laravel VPS. So you'll remember that I told you when people sign up for Forge, they need to bring a DigitalOcean API key. They need to have a separate DigitalOcean account. That's no longer the case as of yesterday. You can sign up for Forge at forge.laravel.com, and you can start creating Laravel VPS servers without bringing any external API keys or even bringing your own DigitalOcean account. All of those servers are powered by DigitalOcean behind the scenes. And what's great about that is it makes it such an easier on-ramp to Laravel development and to launching your app into production on DigitalOcean-powered servers, because when you hit Create Server, we can give you a DigitalOcean-powered server in 5 seconds that's up and running and ready to deploy. And it's really just a game changer for Laravel developers and for getting started in Laravel development. So If that's interesting to you, scan the QR code. You can check out laravel.com, forge.laravel.com, and we'll be around at the happy hour to chat if you have any questions. Thanks.
Thank you, Taylor. So exciting to see all the innovation that Laravel is doing to simplify developer experience. And it's so great to be a part of the journey with them. So in the end, to bring it all together, I wanted to come back to the original vision that we set around the agentic cloud. At DigitalOcean, we certainly believe agents, if done right, can definitely create magic. We've shown you some examples today already. You already discussed, we've seen a number of capabilities that can help you build this magical experience. And I'm looking forward to collaborating with each and every one of you to build a magical future for all of us, powered by the agentic cloud. Thank you. With that, let me pass on the stage to Matt again. Thank you.